everyone. Welcome to our another episode of Message of the Week. Now, you guys might be wondering, what is this message about? Why am I doing this? What makes me think of doing this all the time? Mostly is to educate some people who think they know everything, but they don't. But I'm not telling them that they are wrong in their decisions or what they believe in. I'm just here to say what's on my mind and what I believe in. Now, this this Sigma, this topic is going to be hitting home on a lot of people. So if you guys get triggered, get upset, and all that, um, guys don't have to stay in here to listen. Guys don't have to stay in here to be a part of it. I would say just jump out and cool off. If you want to try again, try again. But to further ado, here is the topic. The topic is signing up. Now, there are some people who say that signing up to the military is honorable, and as well as somebody said to me, that it's cool. Now, the thing I got a problem with is somebody says that being in the military is cool. Now, I'm not here to say that joining the army is not kind of cool, having guns and all that. But the problem of that idea, like that mental idea, thinking that just joining the army makes you look cool, that is the ridiculous way to go. But again, that is my opinion. Sorry for the little bit of sniffling, you guys. At the end of the day, and my allergies are hitting hard today, are hitting hard right now. So sorry for the sniffling a little bit, you guys. But what is else has been that some people are saying that being in the military being in the military does have its perks and has its downfalls. One of the perks is you have a brother in, even though that you guys are not related by blood. You guys are brothers in arms. You guys are there for each other no matter what. Now, there are there is one thing, and this one thing is kind of hit hard, or kind of triggered me a little bit, that Vikings fight because they have to fight, or that they believe fighting is the only way. No, that is not the only way. In Vikings, um, in all Vikings, they only fight if they had no choice. If they had to fight and take land, they would. Or sometimes they will talk it out. Yes, some of them prefer battle because in the religion of being a Viking or being a Nordic back then, is if you died in battle, you will go to Valhalla as long as you have a weapon in your hands. Now, the thing that the only thing as I could say is they didn't fight because they wanted to fight all the time. Sometimes they did. And when they did, they don't fight like a lot of the ancient military, a lot of the ancient armies used to fight where it didn't matter how many men they have. A lot of them do care on how much men they have. Now, if they're against a big army, they will be strategic and figure out a way to take them out. But if their numbers are going down too much and too hard, they will retreat. They will retreat and go home or just retreat back to home base. Now, I'm not saying that there are some Vikings who will just go and run because it's getting too much. There are a lot of Vikings who would actually stay and fight. But it's those Vikings who would actually perish because they're being stubborn enough to just keep on fighting until the last man standing. That whole clan of Vikings died out because of those leaders. Mind me, that is not a good idea. But this is about the army. Sometimes, and I'm not harping on the military, the U.S. Navy military, or any of the military out there. I am just saying on my facts on what I've learned and what I've known. Some of them don't give a rat butt about um, your platoon. Say if one of your platoon's members are under fire and you have the means to actually do the rescue. If you had the firepower as well as the strategist to actually do it, to pull it off, then do it. But some of the higher ups, and I have heard this has happened before, where they will say, "Don't do it, abort mission," because they think just because they have fallen into enemy territory and they think that it's not a big risk. It's because they're thinking that some of them would think, hey, we have more men, it doesn't matter. We can send more men to take out the thing, but it'll take time. Maybe some of them are thinking that. Or they're thinking of their men and hoping that they don't risk their men, more men, to get one man out or a team. And when somebody actually disobeys the orders and actually successfully retrieves their comrades from the enemy territory, they are dismissed from the army or military or navy or anything like that. But this is about the joining part. It's not about the fighting part. There are there are several reasons why somebody would join. Mostly because one of the reasons, and this is mostly the biggest reason, is they don't have a spouse or someone that they love that they want to protect or want to be there all the time for them. Like a girlfriend, fiance, a wife, a husband, boyfriend. Um, and they think they don't have any of that, and they enlist because they can't get an average job. They don't know what to do with their lives, so they enlist. They sign up into the military, army, Marines, any of that, and that is just because they don't think they have anybody to live for. And then there is this where they have joined even though they have spouses. They join because their 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 parents and their grandparents and their parents' parents and so many generations have always enlisted to the army. They're doing it because it's honoring the legacy of their family. That is one of the reasons why they join. Now, this is one of the other reasons, and I think this is the most stupidest reason. So, if the person comes in and actually sees this video and hears me saying this, um, I am not saying your name, so don't get so upset about it. Someone said that if they lose somebody, like say a child, a brother, uh, a wife, husband, any of that, they just lost them. Like they just up and just died because of a disease, and they think they have nothing else to live for, and they want to enlist. In my opinion, that is the most stupidest, most retardest reasons to join. I'm sorry, it's one of the ridiculous notions to actually say to yourself and to say to everybody else that you want to join because you have lost somebody in real life. Not just not like them, not like losing them in the war or the battle, but them just up and dying because of a disease, of cancer or um, leprosy or COVID. So, in that notion, that is the ridiculous way to join. That's my opinion. I believe it's the most stupidest thing to do. The other, the other reason is they have a child, they have a wife or husband, and they join to support their family. That I can understand because because one military family they get a few benefits. Um, even while you're in there, like for say 10, 15 years, maybe 5 to 15 years, you're in the military for that long, or army or whatever, you're in it, and you get benefits. You get medical, you get dental, you get all those perks. Um, and there are times where there are Air Force pilots who won't ever see their family if their family did not move with them. And so some of the family, when the spouse, or yeah, the spouse or the parent is a pilot, the family would move with them to base. So sometimes they don't have much, sometimes they do have a lot. When they do have a lot of stuff, they store it away. They keep it away, put it away until that person retires and settles down. But there are some people who do a list, and this is kind of the kind of stupid, but also kind of a good idea, depending on who you are. Me, I'm in the middle about this. Like, had no choice, then yeah, do it. Um, Enemies knocking on your back door, or not, yeah, knocking on your back door or your front door, just ending up in your country and you're attacking, like what's happening with Russia and Ukraine. Russia decided to invade Ukraine and go after them. So, for people who are in those countries who gets invaded, I'm gonna say, if you want to enter the fight, just because you feel like you have no choice because you're getting pushed. Yeah, some people push back, but there are some people who would just hang back and let the pushers the push. But when they need to be helped, you will help them out if they need it. I could definitely say one thing, and have heard this happen before. A military, an army, match group, healed the enemy, um, because he was hurt or he was dying, and I've heard of higher ups get really upset, get very pissed off about that their own doctors are healing the enemy. So they punish the doctors for doing their job, saving lives, not letting anybody just die on their watch, saving lives. So they will, so pretty much they just save the lives, but they're punished by their own government or from their own commanding officer just because they took an oath to save lives, not take lives, to save lives. So, in that note, the pretty much is just in those cases. Sorry, I'm kind of spacing out for a sec. In those kind of cases, the doctors who and the medics who save the people who are on the enemy side, just because they're hurt, they've ended up in their ward or their care. And I know there are some people who would just let the enemy just die. But with somebody who's an actual doctor who is an MC, came to did I say what's an MC? Not an MC, sorry. Who is a um first responder, a medical first responder, a doctor or a nurse who has said um who has took the oath, save lives, not take lives. There's a bunch more in that, but I don't know the whole thing. They're the ones who will save. But the people who did not, I know a lot of those people will say, "Oh, just let them die" or stuff like that. That kind of talk, not a good idea to have that kind of talk. But in overall, there is a good time to join, and there is sometimes never a good time to join. One of the good times is that you losing a family member right then and there, and you decide to join. That's a really, really bad idea. Because one, you're going through the emotions. Instead of coping it, you're pretty much sealing it up in a ball with a hot glue gun sealed around it, hoping that it doesn't burst. Instead of just coping with it and having it where that flame of emotions die down a little bit, because those emotions will never disappear. The flame of the emotions just dwindle down a little bit, dwindle down more and more and more into a candle size. Then you put it into a ball and you weld it. That's the time that if you say, okay, do I want to join? Do I not want to join? And if you do join, is because you want to do it to honor the person who you lost. But if you're just doing it at that point, and that person believes that, okay, let's just say that the family member that you lost was about to join or was joined, that was joined into the military, army, yada yada yada. I'm just gonna say military for all because yeah, I don't want to keep saying it all over again. Join the military. Um, Wanted to join it, and say they perished just before they did it. If you were if you're really close to that person and you decide to join just because they perished right then and there, that's the most stupidest idea. If you wait and cope and do all that, you're doing it to honor them, and you believe that they wish that that you're doing it to honor them, to do something that they wanted to do but they couldn't. That is very understandable and very honorable for anyone will do that. Like, no joke, that is very honorable. Like, if somebody did that for me, I'll be like, wow, you guys did something that I always wanted to do, but I can't. But you did it for me. Wow, that's insane. That's crazy. Love you guys. That's awesome. That would be awesome for if somebody did that for you or for that person. But if they were about to join, or they weren't going to join, they were never going to join, and they think the joining in the army or military was a bad idea. Was the most stupidest idea ever. But you decided to join after you cope, and you say that you're honoring them, but they did not like the fighting. They did not like the war. They did not like any of that. Then that would be a dishonorable join up because you're dishonoring them, their memories. If it's about a loved one that is lost, always think about how they felt about joining. Don't just join because you want to join, because you want to throw your life away or anything like that. But at that note, you guys, um, all I'm gonna say is there are a lot of bad points of joining, but there are some good points to join. There's only probably about three, four things what the reason why you'll join. There's about 100 reasons why you should not join. Always do this. Do the pro and cons before you guys decide to join the military, the Navy, the Air Force, the Army, the did I say Navy? Yeah. The Marines, Navy SEALs, all of that. Always do the pros and cons for all of that. Figure out what is good and what is not. If you think it's good to join, then join. But if you think that it's a good idea to join, but you subconsciously and you know it's there that you're having doubts to join, then don't join. If you're having any doubts at all, even if it's just a smidge of doubt, do not join because you will regret it for the rest of your life. Now, I'm not going to be saying what the benefits or the doubt or the non-benefit stuff about joining into the military. But there is one thing I will say about 60 to 75% of soldiers who come back have PTSD. Now, some of you guys know what that means, some of you guys do not. It's pretty much meaning that something will trigger, like an emotion will trigger if something happens. Like, say, a loud bang, like a slam of a trunk, or anything like that, that will set them off. Or talking about their time overseas, that will also set them off. We're talking about their brethren, or even just thinking of it will trigger them off. One of my friends, um, he suffers with PTSD, and it's just because he was in the military. He was overseas in Iraq fighting the battles over there. When he got back, he wasn't the same person. He was a complete different person. Depressed, angry in the world, angry to himself. Just he was an angry person. And his brother also was in the military as well. He got back. He was also not the same. Both brothers went there. One of them um, got so depressed because he got PTSD and depression. And the depression was, and the PTSD was fighting with each other. And he was fighting himself. Let's just say he was fighting himself to not to do something, but the other side wanted him to do it, but the other side, his one side did not want to do something, and the other side did want to do it. I'm not going to say what it is, but let's just say the part that didn't want to do it won, or not did not want to do it. The part that didn't want to do it lost. The part that did want to do it did win. I'm not going to say exactly what it is because let's just say it's not a good thing. That's all I'm going to say about that part. The other thing, ladies and gentlemen, that I am going to be saying is yes, you are going to have a lot of cool toys. You are definitely going to have a lot of friends, brethrens that you were side by side together, and those bonds will never ever go away because both of you guys, all of you guys, all of your units, um, have seen the same BS stuff was over there, and you're the only ones that could talk to each other or even understand what each other has gone through. The other thing, and this thing is actually um this thing is pretty is fudge. I just lost my thought there. The other thing is that when you leave the military, um, there are some who have no idea what to do. Some of them would go into private security, being security for a business or being a private security for whoever pays. Not like the bad kind of reason security, but the security to protect and all that. And there are some who would um, to be a police officer because some of them, a lot of them, actually do not know what to do. And there are some who are it was in the military, didn't join security or a police, but they decided to join an MC, a motorcycle club that they made themselves, or they joined because they're one of their uh, squad members said it was a good idea to join with them. Now, sometimes when that happens, the stuff that they the stuff that they do in those MCs are not that great. But either way, you guys, and overall, there are a lot of good reasons to join, but there are so many reasons why not to join. At that note, you guys, we are going to end it here. Um, I will be doing this topic again, but probably be having somebody else with me to have this topic with, and we're gonna discuss on this even more. And if you guys want to join me and listen to it, and actually want to propose to join up to join the discussion, um, just hit me up and hit. Oh yeah, just hit me up on the messages and all that. Hit it on the comments, and do that way. I'm your host, Wolf Alpha KOTW. Hope you guys enjoy this talk. Um, Again, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry if I triggered some of you guys. I'm sorry for that. But I am your host, Wolf Alpha KOTW. Tongue twister there. I'll see you guys next time. Game on. Have fun with your family. Have a wonderful night.